Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to a very windy and somewhat cool April day here in Florida. I figured this is probably one of our last cool snaps, so I'm in the mood for firewood. When it's cool and cold like this, all I can think about is cutting and splitting firewood. So today's video, finally, people have been asking for a firewood video. We're gonna get the Stihl MS462 out. Also, somebody showed me, or asked me, to show them how to use the Stihl 2-in-1 sharpener. So we're going to touch the chain up with that today so I can get that question answered. And we're going to do a little bit of cutting. I don't have much left, but I am itching to run this saw, get some of this stuff bucked up. Then we'll get the tractor, get all this in a nice compact pile, and maybe later today, tomorrow, one of the next days, I can do some splitting, and then I'll record that episode as well. So let me show you what we're working with. Oh, I don't know if y'all can tell, it is extremely windy. We're kind of down here in a bottom, so we're somewhat protected. I think y'all can hear me okay, but I'm telling y'all, it's in the 40s and windy. I know a lot of y'all are laughing, but for Florida, and it was just 80 degrees when we were on the boat yesterday, it's a heck of a change overnight. So this is some leftover wood that I picked up on the last run from a tree service guy. I think this is a big red oak right here, another section of red oak over there, and then this is what we call our water oak down here. As you can see, it's got big wood burls on it. Everybody keeps telling me, please don't cut the burls, but I have yet to find anybody that really wants them. I do need to advertise that a little harder. So what we'll do is I'll section out the wood burls here, these growths on the side, because apparently a lot of people like wood turning them. Of course, that one looks rotten. Those both kind of do. But they're supposedly really good for wood turning. They got some twisted grain inside, but I see some sections that we can get some good firewood out. And as far as the wood burl sections go, I'll just probably stick them over in the corner over here. So the ultimate plan is to get all this bucked up into firewood links, get it pushed over here into the pile that's been waiting forever to be finished split, and we'll get all this split. As you can see, we've burnt through a lot of firewood. I just had all these racks filled up a while back. We've done burnt through them again, and I've got a few wood totes over there that need to be filled up as well. So we've got plenty of room to stick some of this firewood. I still got to get over here and finish this hickory. I've got a rack dedicated just for it. With the house and everything that's happened here lately, firewood just got put on hold and I kind of forgot about it. Plus, it got a little warm there for a little bit. But we're supposed to have a couple days in the 40s for the lows, which is awesome weather to work in. Won't be sweating. We're going to knock out some of this firewood. All right, so as far as this Stihl 2-in-1 sharpener goes, like I said, I had a viewer that said, hey, please, on your next video, show us how you use that. So what's first and most important is get the proper size. If you look right above my glove there, it says 3/8. They make a couple different 3/8 size. They make a 3/8 P for Pico, which is a very small chain. You find on like your Stihl MS170s, 180s, and I have one up there for my 170. Then they make a .325, which is what your medium-sized saws use. My Stihl MS260 uses that. And they make the 3/8 for the bigger saw. They go on up to all different kinds of sizes, all the way down to a little 1/4 inch, which I think is what I have on my pole pruner, if I remember correctly. So there's a ton different size. Make sure you're getting the right size file for the right size chain. All right, so if you take these sharpeners, you'll notice they have arrows on different sides here. That's the direction you're supposed to file. Also, what's critical here is this angle of the plastic. You want to match the angle of that plastic up with the angle of this tooth. Let me show you here. All right, so if you take a look at the angle of that tooth right there, you can see it is just not running this direction. It is running, I don't even know what angle that is right there, but that's what this thing is supposed to solve. So if you see I got the arrow up on this side and I go to put it on that tooth, it doesn't match up at all. You got to flip it over and around. That's what the other side arrow is for. And this round file right here that my thumb is on is what slips underneath that tooth. Now here's where it's critical. You see the plastic? You want to rotate this until that plastic butts up to the bar perfectly. Now you know you've got the correct angle. And whenever you slide this forward, it is working right underneath that tooth at the proper angle. Also, that middle flat file, that's what's so awesome about these Stihl 2-in-1s, will take down, that's called lots of different things, a raker, a depth gauge. I call them depth gauges right there. That's that little, what looks like a tooth right here. This determines how deep your actual cutting tooth digs into the wood. You take this down too much, you'll get too aggressive of a cut, you'll bog your saw up. If you don't take that down at all, eventually your tooth does not cut much wood at all. I am by no means a professional. Actually, I used to go pay someone to sharpen my chains before I discovered this tool and how easy and awesome it was. Now on these chains, if you'll flip them around, you'll find a color-coded link. See right here on this one, that yellow, that's for a full chisel chain is what that yellow stands for. But I usually start sharpening right behind that yellow mark. Now this chain is relatively sharp, so I'm only going to touch it up once. My rule of thumb is on a relatively sharp chain, this one's quite sharp actually, I'll probably hit each tooth maybe 1-2 times. But on a relatively sharp chain, 3 passes seems to do good. On a dull chain, I can't talk this morning, 5 passes seems to be plenty. Any more than that, just starts getting too aggressive and taking too much metal off the teeth. Your results may vary depending on how dull your chain is. So you just put light, just kind of light downward pressure, follow that angle, and that's it. Let me show y'all something. All right, so if you look at that depth gauge right there, you see it's dirty from cutting. I just made those 2 light passes there. Look at how shiny that already is. And you can kind of see where it got down in the groove of the tooth as well. So these work without a doubt. They are not absolutely perfect though. Got to get your angles right and don't take too much metal off. All right, so once you get all the way back around to that colored link, flip your saw back around and flip your sharpener over. That's what the other direction the arrow is for. Now it matches up perfectly to the teeth that are running the exact opposite direction. Run right back around the chain. You're ready to go. Very simple. I can do a 25-inch bar, a chain like this, in 3 to 4 minutes with one of these. Real quick and easy. All right, so another awesome firewood tool I found a while back, thanks to some of y'all, is called the Mingo marker. You can buy different size wheels, different diameters, to make different length spray dots that this thing drops down, so you know exactly where to cut your firewood length. I just recently moved up to an 18-inch length, and I think once we get in the splitting video, I'll explain why. It just looks like it's going to fit better in my firewood totes, so I decided to go up. Plus, I kind of like a little longer length wood whenever I'm stacking in a big fire pit, and the majority of this wood is going to go to us. Although 18-inch, if I sell some of it, I think it's going to be perfectly fine for customers around here. Your typical and common size is 16. I just find it a bit short for my needs. So like I said, I purchased the 18-inch wheel. We're going to find out when we start putting it in those IBC totes if it stacks and fits as tight and good as I think it will at 18. So you just get some inverted marking paint that's got a kind of an odd nozzle that sprays straight up and down. Really, it's made to spray down. Shake it up real good and it slides right in the bottom of this. Quite simple. All right, we're gonna fire this saw up, let it warm up for a couple minutes because I forgot my hearing protection. So while it's warming up, I'm running up there to grab them. Now that was fun. Woo! So one thing I am finding, since I did upgrades to the saw, I did these huge dogs that would actually get a bite in some wood, and this aftermarket muffler. Love the muffler, sounds good. The dogs get such a good bite that I'm finding I'm binding my chain up every now and then because it bites in so well. You just kind of really want to torque. You can go left and right easy now, straight up and down. So that's something I'm gonna have to get used to, but I'm still learning those products. I just put them on not long ago. Other than that, I love the saw. It's got plenty of power. Actually, I love the saw, period. Those accessories really are helping me. I just got to get used to getting a really good bite in a tree now and not bind anything up. That was a good session. That was fun. Wish I had more to cut, but it is what it is. We're going to run back, grab the tractor and root rake. I want to get all this in a pile so it'll quit killing my grass and open up this area for mowing. And like I said, maybe later today, I got a few other things I got to knock out, or tomorrow, I'm going to bring the log splitter down here. We'll record that, and we're going to do some splitting. Got racks to fill, totes to fill, all kinds of stuff to do. Might as well take advantage of this cool weather. Well, that actually worked out quite slick. Let me go ahead and say that those tongs that I was lifting with are not designed for overhead lifting. They're for skidding logs only. However, nobody else is around. Those are small pieces. And I got to thinking, looking at the ring, I said, man, I think that'll slip right over my tractor fork. And my goodness, it slipped over the root rake fork. Excellent. There's actually a lip on my root rake too that'll keep it from sliding back off unless you just really tilt it all the way over to slide it off. That worked amazing. I only had to get out of the tractor one time to hook up one piece. Now unhooking, yeah, they kind of bury themselves in. You might have to get off, but that's so nice to be able to go there and just pluck a piece out, go on about my business. Again, they're not designed for that. I could wind up bending or damaging them potentially, but they're very heavy duty. I didn't see nothing torqued, nothing bent. They look great. I'm glad I tried that. That worked out really well. And again, thank you, Mr. Harry. He's a viewer, and he sent me those in the mail. They're working out great. When I start cutting down trees in the woods later this year, they're going to be awesome for skidding trees out and kind of bringing them up here to finish bucking. So I just thought that was neat. That worked out so good, so good. So if you look now, I've got these big rounds pushed up in their own little section because these are so huge. There's no way on earth I could lift these. I can't even lift them if they're split in half. I'll have to bring the log splitter down here and roll them to the log splitter, split in the vertical position, and just bust them up. Probably start me another pile back over there. All this over here is ready to be thrown up on the splitter. You can see I've already sectioned a lot of these up into force, and that's what I'll have to do with a lot of this. So I've got to get to splitting ASAP. I want to get this whole area cleared out, and I actually have something in mind here because I'm still going to continue to get logs. I think I'm going to build me a little area right here where I can stack poles whenever I'm not going to be cutting them throughout the summer. Let them season and be waiting here for me because I don't want to turn down wood whenever I can get it. But I want to get this whole area cleaned up so I can get back to mowing, not let junk grow all up in it like it's starting to do. And I have got to get some firewood seasoning, y'all. This is bad. These racks do not look good. I have got to get them filled up and ASAP. Plus, I just want to get this whole area cleaned up so it'll look better. So it looks like a mess. I've got some hickory left over here. I've already started splitting some for smoking wood. We're going to continue to work on that. I've got piles of what I call junk splits. It's just random pieces like this, but have no fear. I'm actually going to do another junk split, an all-nighter tote, and fill it up with this junk stuff. I'm not going to throw it away. And then I've got a bunch of junk stuff throughout here. Some I can split, some I can't. Actually, I didn't even see this other piece with the burls on it. I need to go stick it back there in the woods. So we're going to do what we can with a lot of this stuff, burn it. My fire pit is not picky. It'll burn this stuff right up, so we'll let it season for next year. Same thing with all these cookies. I've got cookies laying out here everywhere. I'm going to split them up in the splitter, and they'll just go in that junk split tote for us to burn out there in that fire pit next year. So quite a bit of oak. Some of it already looks relatively seasoned. I think I cut some standing dead trees if I remember correctly. Some of this could be burnt soon. All this over here is very green and will need at least a year to season on me. And some of these shorter pieces like this, believe it or not, I'll get away from the rot, but that's the perfect length for smoking wood. And I do need some more oak for smoking wood. So we'll cut some of those up as well as I had a viewer bring me some pecan chunks that I have got stored over there underneath that tree. Got to get them cut up and split here before long. Start seasoning for smoking wood too. So a lot of work to do, So man, we've got a decent pile of wood to bust into. I know it's small for some of y'all, but for us, this is going to be perfect. Like I said, I'm not stopping here. I'm planning on getting more wood from the tree service company as they cut, and I'm just going to start storing it in pole form. And then as I get breaks every now and then, I'll come down here and chainsaw up some, split some. Plus, I still need to find some more IBC totes. So I've got a lot of work to do on the firewood side of things. But while it was cool for once and I'm not down here sweating in the Florida sun, today was a perfect day to do this. Hopefully y'all enjoyed me running the chainsaw and the tractor. Again, thank you, Mr. Harry, for the tongs. Found a new way to use them that's really going to help me out. I'm a one-man show down here, so anytime I can get some help from equipment or accessories like that, oh, I'm all for it. It helps me out greatly. We'll catch you on the next video.